Very good morning friends, myself S.S. Jugre, and today we are going to start a new chapter what we call as a cam and follower. Yesterday I told you about this particular new chapter. So starting from this chapter, you can see over here we know that what is meant by cam and follower. These are the mechanical devices, mechanical parts which are used to reduce the efforts of human being. So you can see what is meant by cam and what are these applications of cam and follower. So in case of introduction, I will tell you a cam is a rotating member. A cam is a rotating machine element which, one minute, someone is added, someone is joined. Look at, okay, so look at this. A cam is used to convert a rotary motion into a reciprocating motion. So cam generally is a rotating machine element which gives a reciprocating or oscillating motion to another element known as a follower. So cam is always work in conjunction with the follower. The cam and the follower have a line contact and hence it constitutes a higher pair. Look at this. This cam is in contact with some. Look at this. I will take this some highlighter. You can see over here. Laser. You can see over here. 1 minute. Someone is added into the lecture. अरे जरा लवकर जॉइन होत जावा, नंतर प्रॉब्लेम होतोय. लेक्चर सुरू व्हायच्या अगोदरच 5 मिनिटं सगळेजण जॉइन होत जावा. So look at this, what we called as a cam and follower. The cam and the follower have the line contact. Look at this, these are having a line contact. I will take the laser pointer. Look at this, this is having a line contact, so it must be a higher pair. So the cam are usually rotated at a uniform speed by a shaft, but the follower motion is determined and will be according to the shape of the cam. So follower is always in contact with the cam and its motion is always dependent of the shape of the cam. Look at this, this is the shape. The follower motion moves upward and downward. This is knife edge follower, it moves upward and downward. It is totally dependent on the shape of the cam. The shape, if the shape of the cam changes, your follower motion also varies because it is in direct in a point contact with this particular cam. The cam and follower is one of the simplest as well as one of the most important mechanism found in the modern machinery today. So the cam are widely used for operating a inlet and exhaust valve of internal combustion engines and automatic attachment of machineries like paper cutting machines or spinning and weaving of textile machineries, or what we call as a feed mechanisms in the automatic lathes, etc. So these are the cam and followers are used widely in most of the MNCs where lines and point contacts are essentials. So considering these are the examples of the cam, you can see in IC engines to operate the inlet and exhaust valves. Look at it, this is the IC engine and what we called as this is a cam. This is, look at this, this is a cam and this is a follower. So for inlet and exhaust valve operating of the IC engine, you can generally see this cam and follower. Look at this cam and follower, how it will works. Look at this, it will operate as per the requirement of inlet for the completion of combustion and exhaust stroke, or what we call as a suction and exhaust stroke. To operate this at a particular interval of time, you must operate the cam and follower. Look at this, these are the connected in conjunction with this particular gear, and as per this particular camshaft rotation of camshaft, it will operate inlet and exhaust valves in the IC engine. So first, starting from the first point of view, that is classification of cam. Are you understand what is meant by cam? Cam is a rotating element which is used to operate the follower in case of to inlet or exhaust valve of IC engine or etc. So what we called as a classification of cam mechanism based on the modes of input and output motion. We are over here dealing with the classification of cam mechanism, not a cam. Classification of cam is another thing and classification of cam mechanism is another thing. So first of all, over here we can understand what is the classification of cam mechanism. First of all, is based on the input and output motion. We have rotating cam and translating follower. Second is we are having rotating cam and oscillating follower, and third is we have a translating cam and translating follower. Look at this. In case of first thing, our cam is having a input power having a rotating cam, and follower must be a translating. It will translate the motion from which is coming from the cam. Second thing is again same, we have a rotating cam but oscillating follower, and third is we have a translating cam and having same the translating follower. So what is mean by rotating cam and translating follower? Look at this. In this particular example, you can see over here this cam is rotating. Look at this. This is the cam. This is rotating and having a translating follower. Look at this. This is a roller follower which is attached with the cam, and it will gives a translating motion to the required output. So this is the best example of rotating cam and translating follower. Look at this. I will again such an example of rotating cam and oscillating follower. Look at this. This cam is having a rotary motion. I will take the pen so you can understand. Look at this. This is a what we call as a rotating cam, and this is a oscillating follower. It is fixed at the one end, so it will, as per the shape of the cam, it will oscillates on its own position like this. Look at this. This is the oscillation. This is the way of oscillation. So what we called as a rotating cam and oscillating follower. You can see over here our third type, that is translating cam and translating follower. You can see over here, this is the motion of translation. This is the fixed link, and you can see over here this particular roller follower moves on the surface of this particular what we call as a cam. So roller follower moves on the particular surface of this particular cam surface, what we call as a translating cam and translating follower. Hence the motion is only a translating motion over here. So these are the mechanisms of the cam, that is translating cam, translating for translating cam, oscillating follower, or what we called as a number one, rotating cam and rotating follower. Look at this. We have seen the mechanisms of cam. We have to see then classification of follower. What is mean by follower? Follower is having a different shapes which takes the input motion from the cam. Whatever the motion will get from the cam, which is transferred to the other accessories, what we call as a follower. Follower is a device which used to translate the motion from cam to the other devices for the operation purpose. So there are different types of followers. You can see over here. Number one is knife edge follower. Someone is added into the group, so I will add. So there are different types of knife edge followers. There are different shapes of follower. These are the classification of followers according to their shape. These are the classifications according to their shape. You can see over here. I will just highlight. Look at this. This is the shape of the follower. According to the shape of the follower, I have classified these particular followers. Knife edge follower. Second is roller follower. Third is flat faced follower, and last is spherical faced follower. Sorry for disturbing you. Someone is going to add. Atish, someone is going to. Okay, no problem. Look at this. This is the classification of follower according to the shape of the follower. Knife edge follower, roller follower, flat faced follower, and spherical faced follower. So I will again tell you what is meant by follower. Follower is a device which used to transfer the motion from the cam to the other device. Okay, so starting from the first, knife edge follower. This is widely used follower because it is giving a accurate motion. So knife edge follower having a knife edge, look at this over here, you can see over here, I will take the highlighter, look at this, you can see over here in this particular thing, look at this over here, look at this, this is a knife edge having a sharp edge. So this is a knife edge follower used to transfer the motion from cam to the other devices. What are the by using knife edge follower, there are some advantages and some disadvantages. What are the advantages? It will transfer the exact motion, no doubt that, but apart from this, some disadvantages due to which knife edge followers are having a limited source, limited applications. Like due to this knife edge, any tear and wear of the knife edge results in there is a effect on the stroke length. There is a reduction in the stroke length. What is meant by stroke length? Stroke length is a motion of the follower from bottom to the top. What is the highest oscillation motion achieved by follower is called as a stroke length or stroke of the follower. Due to this knife edge, due to the continuous, this is knife edge having in a point contact with this particular cam. Due to this point contact of the knife edge or line contact of the point contact of the knife edge, there is a tear and wear of this sharp knife edge. Due to this tear and wear of the sharp knife edge, there is a reduction in the stroke length. Look at this, this is the stroke length, you can see over here. Look at this, this is the vertical distance of this particular cam, what we call as a stroke length, yes. This is called as a stroke length, yes. So due to this wear of this edge, there is a reduction in the stroke length. Another advantage of disadvantages of this knife edge follower is jump of the follower. So it will be continuously in touch with the cam with the single point, so it will continuously vibrate. So due to this vibration, there is a breakage of the contact between the cam and follower. Another disadvantages of this follower is the vibration. Due to this due to this knife edge, if the speed of the cam exceeds somewhat, due to this exceeding speed of the cam, you can see the jump of the follower or what we call as a vibration in case of knife edge follower. So in case of any interview, if you go for any interview in a design company, they will ask you what are the disadvantages of knife edge or why we not use knife edge follower in all other applications. Because there is a disadvantage like that, this is due to the point contact, it will not remain in touch with the cam, and due to the excess speed of this cam, if cam speed is excess, that time it will take the jump from one point to other. So it will not follow the exact path of this particular cam. So these are the another disadvantages, and due to the continuously jumping, it will be results in the vibration of the knife edge follower. Second is a roller follower. It is a lower pair. Why it is called as a lower pair? Because in case of roller follower, there is a surface contact. You can see over here, I will highlight, look at this, this is a surface contact, look at this, this is a surface contact. So due to this surface contacts, generally roller follower constitute as a or considered as a lower pair. In case of this particular knife edge, this knife edge a point contact, so this is a higher pair. So roller follower generally having a surface contact, hence it is a lower pair. In case of roller follower, you can see there is a roller attached at the end of this particular follower, and which sense the motion which is coming out of the cam. So it is always in contact with the cam throughout this entire surface. Wherever we not required whenever we required a small sense or low speed cam, your roller follower is generally applicable over here. Next is flat faced follower. Look at this, you can see over here, this is a flat faced follower. whatever the shape of the cam, this is the rotary motion. Look at this, this is the rotary motion of the cam. You can see over here the face of the follower is completely flat. So these are the flat faced follower where there is a very slow speed, and where the low speed applications this particular flat faced follower is generally used. You can see over here there is an entire surface is in contact with the cam. That's why this is called as a lower pair. This is not a higher pair because this is a surface contact. What are the advantages and disadvantages? This is used for low speed application, no problem, this is advantage. But in case of due to the surface contact, there is a more tear and wear. So there is a more problem of friction in case of this particular flat faced follower. So due to the power loss in friction due to the surface contact, these cam are generally having a less applications in day-to-day life. So you can see for the next, this spherical faced follower. Look at this. Whenever we want whenever we want rotating motion into a oscillatory motion, in this particular case you can use a spherical faced follower. You can see over here, this is a cam having a specific shape. So this is a follower. What will happen whenever the cam rotates, at that time it will oscillates about this center. Look at this, about this center your cam is going to be oscillate. So spherical faced follower is used whenever we required converting the rotary motion into the oscillating motion. We can use a spherical faced follower. So according to the path of the motion of the follower, our first classification is based on the according to the shape of the follower, shape of the knife edge, roller follower, flat faced follower and spherical faced follower. These are the shape. Look at this, spherical face, this is the shape of the follower. This is the flat face, this is the shape of the follower. This is the roller follower, this is the shape of the follower, that is roller. So this is the classification according to the shape of the follower. This is the classification according to the path of the motion of the follower. I will excuse you because someone is going to be add over here. I will check. Bhushan Gargote is going to be add. Okay, no problem. Rather, I am audible. Hello. Rather, I am audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no problem. So this is the second classification of the follower. This classification of the follower based on the motion of the follower, that is path of the motion of the follower, that is your path of the motion is from radius or along the offset. So radial follower and offset follower, this is the second classification according to the path of the motion. We can see one by one. Look at this. This is the radial follower. Look at this. It is act along the radius. So when the motion of the follower is along the axis passing through the center of the cam. Look at this. The axis of the knife edge or roller follower or flat faced follower or spherical follower. These are the different types of followers. But their axis of the follower and axis of the cam must be coincide. Look at this. When the motion of the follower is along the axis passing through the center of the cam, it is known as a radial follower. Above figure, these are the examples of the what we called as a radial follower. Look at this. This is the knife edge follower. You can see axis of knife edge and the cam is same. This is a roller follower. The axis of the roller follower and cam is same. This is a flat faced follower and this is a spherical faced follower. All having a knife edge roller, flat based and spherical follower having the same axis passing through the center of the cam. So that is what we called as a radial follower. Next is offset follower. Look at this. In this particular case of offset follower, you can see the axis of the knife edge follower, axis of the roller follower, axis of the flat faced follower and axis of the spherical faced follower. these are at some distance, that is it is having a offset from the center of the cam. When the motion of the follower is along an axis away from the axis of the cam center, it is called as a offset follower. These are the figure which clearly shows there is a difference or there is a offset from the axis of the follower and the center of the cam. So these are what we call as a offset follower. Next, that is the classification of cams. We can see over here, these are the classification of followers according to the path of motion and according to the shape. Look at this, we have to see then the classification of cams, that is whatever the input power get from the cam, that is the rotating element. So radial or disc cam, this is the first classification. Second is cylindrical cam, and this is the end cam. Third is end cam. So we can see one by one what is meant by radial or disc cam, cylindrical cam and end cam. Remember, in the previous slides we can analyze the classification of the follower. We can see over here the classification of cams. Number 1, radial or disc cam. You can see over here, in radial cams the follower reciprocates or oscillates in a direction perpendicular to the axis of the cam. Excuse me, someone is going to add. Please join your lecture at a proper time, because it will be disturbed to the entire class. So please take care of that. From next onwards you can join the class exactly at 9:30 or whatever be the timing of lecture. So look at this. This is the another what we call as a radial or disc cam. You can see over here, I will take the highlighter. Okay, you can see over here in radial cam the follower reciprocates. Look at this, this is the follower, knife edge follower, roller follower, flat paced follower, spherical follower. This follower reciprocates, it can reciprocate or oscillates. It can reciprocate or oscillates in a direction perpendicular to the cam axis. This is the cam axis and it will be oscillates in the direction perpendicular to the cam axis. You can see over here, it will be reciprocate or oscillates perpendicular to the cam axis. This is the cam axis. Look at this, this is the center, at the center this is the cam axis, and your follower must be a perpendicular, what we call as a radial or disc cam. Second, what we call as a cylindrical cam. Whenever we require a constant motion where we can clearly analyze the forward and return stroke, we can see over here radial cam maximum used. In this case, a cylindrical cams, the follower reciprocates or oscillates. Look at this, it will be either reciprocate or it will be oscillate. Look at this, here case you can see the oscillating follower. Look at this, this is the cam, this is the cylindrical cam. Look at this, this is the cylindrical cam, and this is the cam, and this is the follower, what we call as a oscillating follower. You can see over here it will be oscillates. Whenever there is a rotating motion of this cylindrical cam, due to this rotating motion, this particular oscillating roller follower moves in the grooves or in the slot provided on the cylindrical cam. So it will be rotary motion of the cylindrical cam results in reciprocating motion of this particular oscillating follower. So in case of cylindrical cam, the follower reciprocates or oscillates in the direction parallel to the cam axis. Look at this, this is the axis of the cam, this is the axis of the cam, this is the axis of the cam. So it will be reciprocate or oscillates in the parallel to the cam axis. Look at this, it will be reciprocate like this, oscillate like this. So it will oscillate in the direction parallel to the cam axis. Third is end cams. You can see over here, it is also similar to the cylindrical cam, but the follower makes contact at the periphery of the cam as shown in figure. This particular cam, cylindrical cam, the follower makes a contact with the periphery. Look at this, on the periphery, what we called as a end cams. Because what we called, why it is called as a end cam? Because it is the end part, or it is connected at the end of the cam or at the periphery, what we called as a end cams. The follower must be follow on the surface. Look at this, this is the surface, it moves on this particular surface as per the shape of the cam, what we called as a end cams. Generally it is move on the periphery. You can see these are the different types of cams and followers. There are different types of followers according, these are the classification based on according to the motion and according to the shape. Cams are also classified according to the what we call as a radial cam, cylindrical cam and end cam, and these are the cam nomenclature. Look at this, whatever with the in contact, whenever the cam is in contact with the follower, there is a specific terms which must be considered while designing the cam and follower, or just designing the motion or path of the motion of the follower. So these are the term important while taking the consideration of design consideration while find out the path of the motion of the follower. So look at this cam profile. You can see over here, I will take the pen, so you can, I will take the laser pointer so you can understand. Look at this cam profile. Look at this, you can see over here, this is the cam profile. Look at this, this is the roller follower, and this is what we called as a profile we will get after the end of the one complete revolution. So this is the outer surface of the disc or cam. Look at this, this is the roller follower, and which is in connect with this particular cam. This is in contact with this particular cam. Look at this, this is the cam and this is the follower. So whenever a roller, follower or etc. cam and follower in contact with each other, the point of contact or the outer surface of this particular disc cam traces path, what we called as a cam profile. What is the base circle? There is another term, base circle, the circle with the shortest radius from the cam center. Look at this, what we call as a base circle. Look at this, this is the base circle, this is the shortest radius from the center of the cam. So the circle with the shorter radius from the cam center of any part of the cam profile, what we call as a base circle. Trace point, this is the another term which is in relation with the what we call as a cam nomenclature. You can see over here, the trace points. There are the different trace points. You can see it is the point on the follower. Look at this trace point, I will show. This is the trace point. Look at, this is the trace point, this is the center trace point, this is the trace point, this is the trace point, center of the follower, this is the trace point, this is the trace point. These are the all what we call as a trace points. It is a point on the follower and its motion describes the movement of the follower. Generally trace point describes the movement of the follower. Suppose your follower motion is here reciprocating, it will goes upward direction, so your trace point must be in the upward, it will shift it to the upwards. If your follower motion downward, it will shift it to the downward. So generally it decides the movement of the follower. So it is used to generate the pitch curve. Whatever the pitch curve generated is generated from the this trace point. Look at this, I will again tell you, these are the points, these are the trace point which is called as a center of the roller follower. When we join these centers, what we call, look at this, when we join these centers, what we call as a pitch curve. Hence it is used to generate the pitch curve. Trace points are always used to generate a pitch curve. Next, what is the pitch curve? The path generated by the trace points. I already told you the path generated by a trace points. Look at these trace points, these trace points, the path generated by these trace points, what we call as a pitch curve. I already, so the path generated by the trace point as the follower is rotated about its stationary cam, what we call as a pitch curve. What is meant by prime circle? Look at this, where is the prime circle? You can see over here the prime circle. Look at this. The smallest circle from the cam center through the pitch curve. Look at this. The smallest circle, what we called as a which in conjunction with the cam. Whatever is the smallest circle in conjunction with the cam. Look at this. This is the prime circle. Look at this. Look at this. This is the smallest circle on the cam. Whatever will be the smallest circle on the cam profile, what we called as a prime circle. This is the smallest circle from the cam center through the pitch curve. Next is pressure angle. You can see over here, this is a roller follower is in contact with the cam. Can you draw a line from the center of the cam, through the center of the follower, and same is in contact with the angle between the direction of the follower motion. This is the direction of the follower motion, and when the line joining from the center of the cam, then the with respect to the normal to the pitch curve, what we called as a pressure angle. You can see over here, this is the pressure angle, the angle between the direction of the follower motion. This is the direction of the follower motion and the normal to the pitch curve. This is what we called as a pitch curve normal to the pitch curve, that is it is already drawn from the center of the cam. So this is what we called as a pressure angle. Next is pitch point. You can see over here pitch point. Look at this pitch point. These are the pitch. The pitch point corresponds to the point of maximum pressure angle. Look at this. This is the pressure angle. This is the pressure. Whatever is the maximum pressure angle, the pitch point is the point corresponding to this particular maximum pressure angle, what we called as a pitch point. Next is pitch circle. A circle drawn from the cam center. Look at this pitch circle. Look at this pitch circle. This is the pitch point, and this is the another pitch points. Look at these pitch points. This is the pitch curves, and this is what we call as a trace points. So what is the pitch circle? Pitch circle is a circle drawn from the cam center and passes through the pitch point, is called as a pitch circle. Look at this, a circle drawn from the cam center. Look at this. This is the cam center through the pitch points. Look at this. These are the pitch points. Look at these pitch points. So whatever the circle drawn from the center of the cam and pitch points. Look at this. These are the pitch points. So what we call as a pitch circle. Next is stroke. What is the stroke of the follower? According to the shape of the cam, your follower must go upward and downward, that is oscillating, or what we call as a reciprocating motion got as per the shape of the cam. So whatever with the maximum distance or greatest distance or angle through which the follower moves or rotates, whatever the maximum distance that can be achieved by this particular follower by moving up and down, that is the maximum distance traveled by this particular follower due to the reciprocating motion or oscillating motion, what we called as a stroke of the follower, or simply called as a stroke. So these are the general phenomena which are used for the designing the cam and profile. But whenever the motion of the follower, it will path some specific motion, or it will trace some specific motion. As the cam rotates, the follower moves upward and downward. You can see over here, as a cam rotates, the follower moves upward and downward. So hence it will trace, the follower will trace something path of the motion. So we can understand over here what is the motion of the follower. So the upward movement of the follower, what we called as a rise, or what we called as a outstroke. Remember, in case of motion of the follower, the upward movement of the follower is called as a rise, or what we called as a outstroke. Any upward movement of the follower, what we called as a rise, because here your follower rises from 0 to another level, what will be the maximum stroke length. So it will rise, so it will move upward, hence this stroke is called as a rise of the stroke, or rise of the follower, or what we called as a outward stroke. Next, any downward movement, what we called as a fall or return stroke. Any downward movement of the follower, what we called as a fall or return stroke of the follower. When the follower is not moving upward and downward, even when the cam rotates, it is called as a dwell. Remember, look at this. Whenever follower, when there is a motion to the cam or there is a motion to the follower, when cam rotates, either your follower rise or return, or rise or what we call as a dwell, rise or fall. But in some cases or in some instant, it will not move from its original position. It will remain as it is. So this period, what we called as a dwell period, where there is a no motion, rather upward or down, there is no motion or no upward or downward motion. It will remains constant at the original position, at same position, what we called as a dwell of the follower. So what are the types of follower motion? There are different types of follower motion. What we call as a uniform velocity or uniform motion, what we call as a constant velocity, or what we call as a uniform velocity. Second is SHM, that is simple harmonic motion. Third is uniform acceleration and retardation motion, and fourth is cycloidal motion. So we can see one by one what is meant by uniform velocity, or what we call as a another name uniform motion. Second, simple harmonic motion. Third is uniform acceleration and retardation, and cycloidal. Start one by one. So what is uniform velocity, or what we called as a uniform motion? You can see over here, in case of uniform motion or uniform velocity, you can see the motion of the entire follower is uniform throughout the entire rotation of the cam. Since the follower moves with uniform velocity during its rise and fall, that is outward stroke and return stroke, the slope of the displacement curve must be a constant. Hence, during its, look at this, this is rise, this is dwell, and this is return. Throughout the rise, dwell and return, your follower must be a moves with the uniform velocity. So this particular diagram is called as a uniform motion or constant velocity diagram. You can see over here, you can see how you can draw this particular, I will take the highlighter, how you can draw this motion. This is what we called as a total distance, what we call as a pi d, that is entire rotation of the cam, pi d. What is the vertical distance? Vertical distance, this is what we call as a vertical distance. This vertical distance is nothing but stroke of the follower. This is the stroke, this is what we call as a stroke of the follower. So first of all, draw a horizontal line is equal to pi d, dimension is equal to pi d. Make as a first of all mark, that is theta o, that is outstroke, this is the outstroke, this is the theta r, return stroke, and this is what we call as a dwell period, constant period. Make same equal parts of the outstroke and same number of equal parts in the return stroke if there is a constant velocity. So first of all, mark the theta outstroke, then dwell, and then return stroke. Make the equal parts, join the corner, look at this, this is the diagonal corner, join it. Whatever will be the distance, get 1a, 2k, 2b, or 3c, 4d, 5e, 6f. These are the distance from the follower which moves from the base point to the top of the follower. This is the entire stroke length. Second is simple harmonic motion. You can see over here, in case of simple harmonic motion, your follower moves with a rise and fall considering without a dwell. in case of simple harmonic motion, sometimes there is a dwell, sometimes there is a directly rise, and after that rise directly there is a fall. So this is entire what we called as a one revolution of the cam, that is entire one cycle is equal to pi d. This is the distance. So first of all, draw a horizontal line. If in the problem they will ask draw a cam profile having a follower motion of simple harmonic motion. When follower follows the simple harmonic motion, you can see, just concentrate on this particular thing. You can first of all draw a horizontal line is equal to 360 degree, that is entire one revolution. Sometimes there is a dwell, sometimes there is a no dwell. No dwell means there is a continuous motion, upward and downward motion of the follower. Look at this. In this particular case, first of all, draw a semicircle is equal to stroke length s, having diameter of the stroke length s. Look at this. This is the semicircle having the diameter is equal to the length of the stroke, that is stroke length. Next, draw a horizontal line having a pi d distance, that is entire one revolution, 360 degree revolution, that is one revolution of the cam. Then draw a number of equal parts of the semicircle. Suppose these are the 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6. These are the 6 equal parts of the semicircle. So draw the horizontal lines from this particular each and every point from the semicircle. Whatever the equal parts of the semicircle, that will be same to the theta rise and for the fall. So rise, for the rise 1 2 3 4 5 6 parts, for the fall 1 2 3 4 5 6, whatever the equal number of divisions done on the semicircle. Draw the vertical lines from each and every division. So horizontal lines from the semicircle and vertical lines from the this particular equal divisions of rise and fall intersect each other at something. Look at this. This is the first point of the semicircle and the first point of the horizontal line. Second, this is the first point, first horizontal line from the semicircle, first vertical line from the this particular rise intersect over here. Look at this. I will show you by the pen. Look at this. Look at this. This is the first intersection. Look at this. This is the second intersection. This is the second vertical line, second horizontal line meet over here. This is the third vertical line. This is the third horizontal line meet over here. This is the fourth horizontal line and fourth vertical line meet over here. This is the fifth vertical line, fifth horizontal line meet over here. Look at this, meet over here. This is the 180 degree, that is sixth horizontal line, half revolution. This is the final line from the. In this way you can get the intersecting point. Remember, there is, if there is some dwell, you must draw a horizontal line, plain horizontal line for the dwell. Okay, in this particular case which I shown over here, there is no any dwell, hence you can see the rise and just followed by a follower, that is return stroke of the cam. So first of all, you can draw a horizontal line is equal to pi d, that is one revolution of the cam. Then you draw the vertical line, that is equal to the stroke length. Complete the semicircle, make the equal parts of the semicircle, draw the horizontal lines from the each and every point from the semicircle. Whatever you done you equal parts of the semicircle, that will be same in number of equal parts from the rise and the fall. Draw the vertical lines from this particular rise and fall for the entire one revolution over here. This horizontal line and vertical line will be intersect at one point. So draw the curve from passing through these points and complete the motion of the follower, what we call as a simple harmonic motion. This is the third motion, what we call as a uniform acceleration and retardation. Look at this. This is the maximum displacement diagram. You can see over here velocity and acceleration diagram over here. Look at this. There is a continuous growth in the velocity. Since the acceleration and retardation are uniform, therefore their velocity varies directly with the time. Look at this. The displacement diagram in conjunction with the acceleration diagram with respect to the time domain are explained over here. Look at this. In case of uniform velocity, uniform acceleration and retardation, whenever there is a uniform, look at this. In the first case, your velocity goes on increases, it reaches to the maximum and then again to the fall. It for the dwell period it will remain same, and again for retardation it will fall back. So look at this. This is the velocity diagram and acceleration diagram. What is the way to draw the uniform acceleration and retardation diagram? Look at this in the example. First of all, you have to draw a one horizontal line. This particular horizontal line having a length of is equal to pi into d. That is the one complete revolution of the cam. Second, you have to draw another vertical line which is equal to the stroke length of the follower. Again, first of all, mark the theta O as per the problem, that is outstroke. Mark the dwell period and finally mark the return period. Remaining is of dwell. So theta O complete. First of all, draw the number of equal parts to the theta O, that is outstroke. Suppose over here we can make the 8 equal parts of theta outstroke. Same you can see over here. Draw the from the center line, from the center of this particular number 4, draw the equal number of parts. Draw the equal number of parts of the stroke also, that is 8. Whatever be the equal number of parts of the theta O, that must be equal number of parts to the stroke. Look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 8 number of equal parts of the stroke length also. Then you can see over here, join A to the first point, another A to the second point, A to the third point and A to the fourth point. From the bottom, join the topmost point, that is G, to the each and every 1, 2, 3, 4. So one of the bottommost corner, last 4 digit join from the same point. From the same point, draw the lines to the joining to the another top of the stroke of the equal parts of the follower. So you can get over here line number 1 and intersection of 1, first point, line number 2 and intersection of 2, second point, line number 3, vertical line number 3, and this particularly join line number 3, third point. In this way you can get the point. This is for the same outstroke and for the same for the return stroke, what we call as a uniform acceleration and retardation. In this way you will get the points of intersection from the each and every line, and this particular will be transferred to the drawing the exact follower motion or shape of the cam. Next is the cycloidal motion. This is last motion, what we called as a cycloidal motion. You can see over here. So cycloidal motion, in short, what I can say, the displacement velocity acceleration diagram when the follower moves with a cycloidal motion. You can see over here, the cycloid is a curve traced by a point on a circle when the circle rolls without slipping on a straight line. Look at this. This is circle which moves without slipping on a straight line. You have to draw the path of the same when the circle moves without slipping on a straight line. So in case of cams, the straight line is a stroke of the follower which is translating, and the circumference of the rolling circle is equal to the stroke of the follower. Yes. Therefore, the radius of the rolling circle must be S divided by 2 pi. That is, S means stroke length and 2 pi, that is the what we call as a circle rolls without slipping. Hence, S divided by 2 pi. The displacement diagram, look at this. First of all, you have to draw the circle of radius is equal to S by 2 pi with A as a center. Look at this. Why you draw the stroke length is equal to S divided by 2 pi? Because it rolls without slipping over here. So first of all, you have to over here draw the circle. Look at this circle. You have to first of all draw the circle of radius is equal to S by 2 pi. with A as a center. Next, you have to divide this circle into any number of equal parts. Suppose 6 number of equal parts. So divide this circle in a number of equal parts. Suppose say 6. Project these points horizontally on the vertical center line of the circle. Look at this. Project these points horizontally on the vertical central line. Look at this vertical central line of this center line of the circle. These points are shown by A dash, B dash, etc. or C dash, etc. Okay. So next is divide the angular displacement. Look at this. Divide the angular displacement of the cam during the outstroke into the same number of equal parts as the circle is divided. This draw the vertical lines through these particular points. Next, join A and B. Look at this. Join A and B, B and C, C and D, D and E, and E and F. Similarly, you can entire join the remaining particular A, B, C, D, E, and you will get the exactly profile of the cam. So this is what we called as a cycloidal motion. This is the last motion of the follower. So after completing this particular understanding this particular all the motions of the follower, you can draw the cam. Look at this. This is the radial cam because its axis and the follower axis exactly passing. This is not an offset follower. This is a simple axis follower, inline axis follower. Look at this. This is the 60 degree of outstroke. This is what we called as a 45 degrees of or 40 degrees, 45 degrees of dwell, where there is a no motion. Look at this. There is a no motion during this particular path. Look at this. This is the rise. This is the rise of the theta r. This is the rise. This is the dwell, and this is what we called as a return stroke. What we called as a fall of the follower. Remaining this what we called as a again dwell period. So this is a general cam profile which is used to draw, or we have to understand what way you can draw the cam profile. For the next lecture, we can exactly draw the cam profile as per the basics fundamentals which are seen over here in this particular lecture. So I will again start from the first. Just recall the different types of cams and again different types of follower. Look at this. These are the different types of followers. Follower according to the shape of the follower, that is knife edge follower, roller follower, flat faced follower, and spherical faced follower. Followers are, what is mean by follower? Follower is a device which is used to take the motion from the cam, okay, and to operate the other mechanisms like walls of IC engine, etc. These are the different types of knife edge follower, roller follower, flat faced follower, spherical follower. Look at this. In case of flat faced follower, there is more friction due to the more area in contact. There is a knife edge follower, there is a only knife edge in contact with the cam, but due to this particular small edge contact with the cam, there is a chances of production of the noise and also a vibration. So these are the disadvantages of the knife edge follower. The follower can be also classified as a radial follower and offset follower. These are the radial followers where axis passing through the center of the cam, and offset follower having axis not passes through the center of cam. These are the classification of cams, what we call as a radial or disc cam, cylindrical cam, end cams, and these are the nomenclature we can see simultaneously. And finally, these are the displacement, that is uniform velocity, that is uniform motion, simple harmonic motion, uniform acceleration retardation, and cycloidal motion. So dear friends, if you have any doubt, then let me know. For the next lecture, we can see the one of the problem from the May 2019 or Shivaji University problems May 2014 or May 2015, and simultaneously we can understand what are the different consideration to be taken. If you have any doubt, then let me know. Otherwise, please give the presenting.
तर ते सिंपल हार्मोनिक मोशन मध्ये हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन वरती व्हर्टिकल लाईन मारलेल्या आहेत ना, ते पार्ट कसं हे करायचं, डिवाइड करायचं?
एक 1 मिनिट हां, इथं काय म्हटलंस?
आता ते हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन वर व्हर्टिकल लाईन्स मारलेत ना, मग ते पार्ट कसे हे करायचे, म्हणजे मेजरमेंट करायचं मध्ये?
हे बघ, मी काय सांगतो बघ तुला. सगळ्यात पहिला हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन मारायची. ती किती असणार? पाय डी इतकी. कारण सर्कम्फरन्स ऑफ द सर्कल कॅमचं एक एंटायर एक रिव्हॉल्युशनवरती पूर्ण होणार आहे ना तुझा फॉलोअर, बरोबर आहे की नाही? मग हे इज इक्वल टू 1. पहिला ही हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन मारायची पाय डी इतकी. डी म्हणजे डायमीटर कोणाचा आहे? कॅमचा आहे, ते तुम्हाला माहीत असणार आहे. ओके, त्यामुळे पाय डी इतकी मी पहिला हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन मारली. त्यानंतर वर्टिकल लाईन ही मारतो मी. वर्टिकल लाईन, व्हॉट एव्हर द वर्टिकल लाईन इज इक्वल टू स्ट्रोक ऑफ द फॉलोअर. स्ट्रोक ऑफ द फॉलोअर तुम्हाला दिलेला असणार आहे. तो वर्टिकल स्ट्रोक किती झालेला असणार आहे तो. त्यामुळे त्या स्ट्रोक इतक्या फॉलोअर इतकी व्हर्टिकल लाईन मारायची. ही मारलास की त्यानंतर हा पूर्ण स्क्वेअर बॉक्स कंप्लीट करून घ्यायचा. घेतलास की त्यानंतर ह्याला सेमी सर्कल, ह्याच्यातले एक्झॅक्ट ह्या स्ट्रोकच्या एक्झॅक्टली सेंटरला एक पॉईंट घेऊन पहिला सेमी सर्कल कंप्लीट करून घ्यायचा. सेमी सर्कल कंप्लीट करून घेतलास की सेमी सर्कलचे इक्वल पार्ट्स करायचे. मग तू ते 6 कर, 8 कर किंवा 12 कर. ते सेमी सर्कलचे इक्वल पार्ट केलास, ते पार्ट्स केल्यानंतर सेमी सर्कलला हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन्स मारायच्या, बरोबर? सेमी सर्कलचे जेवढे इक्वल पार्ट्स केलायस तेवढाच थिटा आउट स्ट्रोकचे इक्वल पार्ट करायचे, तेवढेच रिटर्न स्ट्रोकचे सुद्धा इक्वल पार्ट करायचे. आणि पार्ट केल्यानंतर समजा इथनं एवढे काय तर तुझा इथे एक 25 mm काय तर तुझा काय आउट स्ट्रोक आहे. त्या 25 mm ची सुद्धा जेवढे सेमी सर्कलचे इक्वल पार्ट केलायस तेवढेच ह्या आउट स्ट्रोकचे सुद्धा इक्वल पार्ट करायचे. इक्वल पार्ट केल्यानंतर ते व्हर्टिकल वर ओढायचे. या हॉरिझॉन्टल लाईन आणि व्हर्टिकल लाईन कुठेतरी एकत्र येणार ना, इंटरसेक्ट होणार ना एकमेकाला. त्यातली पहिली लाईन आणि इकडची पहिली लाईन, ह्यातली दुसरी लाईन आणि इकडची दुसरी लाईन, ह्यातली तिसरी लाईन इकडची तिसरी लाईन. तुम्हाला इथे पॉईंट मिळत जातात. ते पॉईंट कंप्लीट करून तुम्हाला काय करायचं? कर्व कंप्लीट करायचं. आर यू अंडरस्टँड?
येस सर.
अभिराम, आर यू अंडरस्टँड?
येस सर.
ठीक आहे. एनी डाऊट नसेल तर फक्त मला प्रेझेंटी द्या. गिव्ह मी द प्रेझेंटी. Okay, thank you. Just give the presenty. I will note it down. So roll number 12, 6, 72, 17, 67, 76, 75, 30, 55, 15, 79, 8, 35, 31, 68. Thank you very much.